We're on a brand new metal detecting adventure today. I'm on a farm that I've been on before, but I've never been in this field. And I was looking at Google Earth and doing a little research there, and I thought I could see the faint outline of a house foundation. So I talked to the farmer this morning, and he said, yeah, go ahead and check it out. So I bebopped across an old cornfield as fast as I could, found something I want to show you, and just got to the site where I thought there might be a house. Now look at this. This is definitely a foundation to something. Okay, you can see the stones are laid in a rectangle up to here. So I don't know if this was like a chimney stack or part of a foundation to a house. But where I was mostly interested was actually on this little hill. I could see something that just didn't, I haven't been up here yet, that didn't look right or look good for me. Yeah, that's it right there. It's that little mound probably. And I'm thinking this is actually an old chimney stack right here where I'm standing. See how it's all mounded up around here? So I'm thinking it's probably a chimney here, maybe a house out into here, where my metal detector is down there is some type of little outbuilding. Yeah, I think it's going to be a house right here. The metal detector is squawking because I lost connectivity to my headphones, and there's an electric fence nearby. Ooh, that doesn't look good. That's probably from a pregnant cow. I scooted across the cornfield on the way over. I was getting a bunch of junk, but I did find one thing of interest, and that's this ring. It's an S, I guess, an S. Lots of iron starting to show up. I have not dug anything, although my first decent signal is right in here. We'll dig that together. And then I got to get busy because it's already 1 o'clock in the afternoon and we only have till dark, which is about 7 tonight. So 6 hours. I hope we can get her done before then. Let's get to work. Okay, let me show you what I'm hunting with today real quick. Garrett AT Max, 0 program, 0 discrimination, maximum sensitivity. Got 2 bars on the batteries. I'll probably switch them out as soon as it goes to 1. You'll see this jumping back and up and down a little bit. That's because of the electric fence. I can hear it in my ears. But let's go ahead and dig this first signal together. Just walk around for a minute first. That's a signal. I mean, that's shotgun shell range, but it could be a button. Let's walk up here together and see if the iron picks up. Let me turn my headphones off so you can hear better. All right, let's just walk up here, see if the iron picks up. I have it so it hears all the iron, everything, every nail, piece of wire, everything. It should get really thick closer we get to the top. Yeah, it is. Those are cow pies. They actually give a signal. So you got to be careful around them. You don't dig too many of them because usually just cow pies. All right, so I think this is going to be a house. Nice amount of iron, not too crazy, so it's going to be an early house. It's going to be like 1700s, I bet. All right, and those high squeaks could be good targets. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. Let's go ahead and go back to that one signal. We'll dig it together. Then I'm just going to spend a little bit of time digging on my own, showing you what I find as I go along, because I just want to make sure this is the place we need to be. All right, so like I said, let's dig this first one together, which is actually right in the range of a shotgun shell, but it may not be. It should be right there. Get down shade of you, or down shadow. Oh, nice and rocky, huh? Hopefully we'll get it there. Sounds kind of, it sounds like a shotgun shell really, but could be a button too, who knows. It's definitely not a silver coin. All right, it's up on that one. On that, there it is. You probably can't see it, but all right. So what we have is a small, I hope you like my tape, stuck a screw in the end of it yesterday when I was working on the Chig rig. All right, so here's a small caliber musket ball. Could be fired, could be dropped. It's got a flat spot there. Got a little hole there, so I'm not sure about that one. It's probably fired, but it could possibly be a very crude dropped one. You see the mold seam going around it. That's probably the sprue. Or that could be the sprue. It might have cut both ends off, who knows. All right, good first target. Watch out for this one as well. I have not seen the target, but it's right in here. Something kind of small. Oh, it's in my hand. No. Piece of aluminum. It's an old style pull tab. All right, I'm not going to share any more signals with you until I start digging some good stuff. I'm over by the telephone pole, and that's that mound of stuff that I think is going to be the home site. And I just dug this, which is a big old ironing iron. I'm going to dig all the big iron here as well, just in case there's muskets or cannonballs. Handle's broken off, but that's what you would have used to, you know, iron your clothes. That's a pretty big one. I'm going to put it over by a telephone pole for now, and then we're going to get to work. So we're on a home site. That tells me 100% we're on a home site now. Yeah, buddy. And no one's ever been here, according to the farmer anyway. Well, I just found a welcome surprise, something I really was not expecting, considering how far out in the mountains of how far up in the mountains of West Virginia we are. This is that area that looks like a old chimney pile. Got a signal under that rock, and looky, this is a Civil War Minie ball. Don't know if it's Confederate or Yankee. Could be either, but we are definitely looks like the rim is a little bit eccentric, meaning it's thicker on one side than the other. So I'm going to say this good chance that's actually a Confederate bullet. It's more crudely made, which would be nice, because that would mean there could be have been Confederate soldiers living in this house, which means they could have lost buttons and belt buckles. Civil War Confederate belt buckles, which are rare as hen's teeth. So let's get to work. I'm really excited now. I'm probably not showing it, but I'm pretty excited. So I got a great big iron signal here. You can see them start to uncover right now. I suspect it's going to have something to do with the fireplace. Getting some square nails out of the hole. Thought I'd get you out just to see what this is. We're not going to hurt it with the shovel, I can tell you that right now. Great. Oh man, it's huge. Probably a piece of it. Well, sorry about that, guys and gals. All right, probably could be part of a stove. It's really heavy. All right, let's see what we got. Oh yeah, wow. It's probably a fireback, actually. Let's take a look at her. I'm thinking this might be a plate that would go on the back of a fireplace to keep the heat in, but I'm not 100%. Called a fireback, maybe. It's got a 3 on it. S-T-E-V-E-N-S, Stevens, something Stevens. We can look that up. Yeah, that's way too heavy for a stove, so. Awesome, man. Stevens number 3. God, look at that. How they did I'm not even sure how they. Looks like somebody welded it, like with a modern welder, but I'm guaranteed that's not how that was put on there. These numbers and stuff. That was done by hand somehow. This is the hole where I got the fire back out of, and I went ahead and dug it a little bit deeper because it's loaded with iron. Got a nice strap thing here. This is hand forged. Looks like there's a hole in there, so it probably went on some type of door of some sort, and a couple of nails and whatnot. So I've been digging around for about half an hour. I find a lot of shotgun shells, modern junk. Part of the reason I find so much junk too is, you know, we're by an area where people work. There's telephone pole and stuff like this, and I guess it's a good place to sit and shoot rabbits, I don't know, or dove. Anyway, I just found my a piece of brass, which is older brass. I really, like I said, I've just been finding shotgun shells, horseshoes, stuff like that. I'm going to show all that to you. But that's kind of interesting. It looks like some type of part of a clasp, or I'm not sure. It's got a hinge on it, a little hinge of some sort. But I did want to show you one thing. And when we first got here, I showed you the there's like a little rectangular foundation. I said it could be a well. Well, wells aren't rectangular, but I found the well. That's the mound where I think the chimney foundation stood, the chimney foundation. And down here, just below it, guess what? There is a hole that's been filled in. See, it was kind of roundish, and it's been filled in with rock. So this is the well. This is the well that went to the house. And the reason they make wells round is because it's very strong. That structure is strong and holds together well. No pun intended, but it holds together when the ground, you know, the force of the ground is pushing against the rocks. If it was rectangular, it would just push it right in. But since it's round, it pushes against the rocks and just forces them all together into a nice tight little cylinder. And it's a very strong structure, as you can see, because that hole is probably a couple hundred years old. Well, it is a couple hundred years old, and it's still there, except somebody put rocks in it. All right, I'm gonna get back to work, find some more stuff. And if I get into a hot spot, we'll do some live digs. I just showed you the well a second ago, and I'm doing a dig here. I think that's a rock, but I got a little signal. Looks like it's probably a button. Little flat button, I would guess. Yep, that's what it is. It's got a nice little design on the back. You can see where the shank used to be. It's gone now. What it's got, like, probably says like treble gilt or best orange or something like that. It's a nice little flat button, no designs unfortunately. Wiped the patina, that green patina, off of it with my thumb. Just by doing that, I've changed what it could have looked like. It could have been all beautiful green if I had been a little more careful. Now you can see the copper stuff inside. All right, I'll quit yapping and start digging. So that's where I found the Civil War Minie ball right there. And I've been working around, just kind of going around and around here, making a loose pattern. And I've worked my way back around to this side, and I just dug another Civil War Minie ball. Probably going to be just like the other one. Probably not going to have a concentric ring. Going to be a little eccentric, I would guess. That's a term they used back in the day anyway, in the bullet books. I don't know what they're calling them now. But yeah, you see how it's thicker here, thinner there. So it's likely a Confederate bullet. Not 100%, but we're probably at about at 80 or 90% on that. And we can do some research, and we might be able to figure out exactly what kind of bullet it is and where it was made, but you can't always do that with just plain mini balls. All right, let's get back to work. It's got a kind of a high base though, so that's a good, you see the rings here, which are actually grooves. They're not rings, they're grooves because they're cut into the bullet. Ring would be protruding out from the side. These are actually going in, so they're rings. It's got 3 rings or 3 grooves, and this the bottom skirt here is kind of tall, so that's we'll probably be able to look that up and see exactly where that was made, I suspect. It's a little bit off the foundation, and I dug another flatty. I do believe I'll probably try not to rub that quite as much as the other. Yeah, so just like the other button that I found, looks like it's got a little bit of gilding on there, gilt or gilding, could be goes either way. On the back, it still has a shank that's smushed. Nice and sandy over this. Oh, looky. It's a grub. Anyway, I was noticing that's where the house at. There's a little stream down there. You see this gully right here? I'm going to suspect this is the old lane to get up to the house. I haven't dug there yet. That's where the cow was laying. But they probably, you see there's a road up there. It probably wasn't up there on top. It probably came across the bottom here. This is the lane. You see it comes up through here, kind of goes around. And this would have been, you know, the yard of the house, what we Americans call a yard, right in here, and the house here, well there. All right, it's back to it. I'm gonna bury him about a foot away from where I found the flat button. I just got another nice little signal. That could be a pewter button, actually. See the roundness right there? Yeah, it is. Be really careful with the old pewter guys, because sometimes they can be military, like Revolutionary War era, or War of 1812. This isn't, yeah, that's right, that's the right style right there. I'm gonna give her just a little rub just to see if there's any type of eagle on there or cannon. I'm not gonna do too much to her though. Yeah, I think that's just gonna be flat, unfortunately. You see kind of some raised dots right there. So it's possible there's something on there. Yeah, see, it looks like there's raised dots. I don't really see a design though that I can make out. All right, we'll put her in a bag. I'll get you a good picture of that, I promise. Just a few feet from where I found those buttons, I got a nice signal here and popped this half a horseshoe out of the ground. And I'm actually found quite a few of these today, but sounds like there's still something in this clump right here. I'm seeing that rust, but I'm hoping it was just from the horseshoe. This sounds like it could be something good. All right, you ready? Oh, shotgun shell. There it is right there. All right, so there was a good signal I was hearing. I struck the horseshoe was just underneath it. Looks to be about 4 or 5 inches. Well, that's an interesting shape and color. What do you think? Ah, it's just a grub. What's that? Okay, I thought it could possibly be a coin, but it's going to be a flat button. You can see the piece of the shank right there. We'll flip it over, see if it's smooth. I do believe it's going to be quite smooth. All right, but that's a nice one. We'll take that. That's a nice older one. That's definitely pre-Civil War. Well, I was hoping for a cannonball, but this is just part of a tooth system for a sickle bar mower. Not very old at all. I mean, it could be older than me, but probably somewhere between 57 and 17 years old. We're close to the well, and I just dug this, which is a beer bottle lid. Schmitz with glass sticking out of the end. So you gotta be really careful when you're digging that you don't dig up something like this with glass and cut your finger. Thumbs up. That was from something different though. So I'm over here right next to the well, and I got a nice big iron signal. I went ahead and dug it up. This is probably what I was hearing, which is part of an old, I guess it's a wedge, or I don't know why it'd have a hole in it though. It looks like it's been beat on with a sledgehammer. Oh, yeah, so that's going to be like a hammer, I guess. That's probably a handle. It's probably like an old blacksmith's hammer or something. A couple grubs, and then I found a bone-handled two-tine fork, which is kind of in pieces, unfortunately, and a couple grubs, which I'm going to put back in the hole right now before they get too warm. I don't know what kind of grubs those are. Maybe June bugs. I'm not sure. Not cicadas, I know that. Up until this point, I've pretty much been running a pattern from the where the chimney stack was over that direction toward where the lane comes up. But I've only really covered that area and right around the foundation. And came over to the well, dug that spoon, or the fork, two-tine fork, and another piece. It's a rough little plug here. It's down at least 4 or 5 inches, so I don't have to worry about hitting it right now. I should be able to hear it with a pinpoint once I get this off. There we go. All right, let's see what we got. Still down a ways. Take a little bit more of this off and go just the other side of that like that. Lots of charcoal down in here. Oh no. Piece of iron. That's disappointing. So I just went ahead and moved you, but yeah, that's just a piece of iron. That's probably what I was hearing, but you can see there's a lot of ash and stuff in there. Almost doesn't look like iron, does it? But I'm going to dig that hole out and show you what's down there in just a minute. I'm just going to clean it out a little bit. I think it's probably a trash pit or something. I just dug a big old piece of cookware. That's like a definitely cookware, nice heavy cast iron. So this is kind of an interesting little piece here. It's a thin, like coppery brass. Almost reminds me of an epaulet. Part of an epaulet that a soldier would wear from like Civil War era or before. There would be big brassy things like this. I'm not 100% on that, but I got a suspicion it's possible. If we find more of it, we'll know for sure. Kind of right up in the foundation again, and working my way back to here. Gonna hit this next. Just dug this. It's really thin stamped brass. Got like little teeth looking things on it. Not sure what that might have gone to. If that went to like a wooden handle, might have gone through it, or like a broom. I don't know if those could have been folded over to hold the like the little straws in, or what. Like a broom straw. Tons of iron in here, nice dark soil. Hopefully we'll get something good out of here in a minute. So I have one of those signals that's either a big brass belt buckle or a Budweiser can. Let's listen. It's very shallow, whatever it is. So it could be a Budweiser can, but listen. Oh, let me put my headphone off. Nice, sweet, clean signal. So that's brassy or a flattened can or something. But whatever it is, it's right here. Let me set you up. Hopefully you can see that. I'm just going to take the pinpointer on this one because it's big and it's shallow. So it's a little bit over here. So let me move you over to here. I'm going to dig with my finger just a little bit. I know it's not a lid. Oh no. Yeah, it's red, whatever it is, and its paint's coming off of it. So I don't have high hopes for it. There we go. All right, it is a, oh, wonderful. Well, that must be to put tags in a cow's ear, I guess. That's what that is. It's a tagger. So we'll put that up on the pile. Hopefully you're able to see that, but I'm pretty sure that's how you put a tool you use to put a tag in a cow's ear. That's probably aluminum. That's why it was sounding so good. Dug this, looks like a little gear of some sort. But you know, it really looks like it's homemade to me, or hand forged. But there would have been a shaft that went through there, a square shaft, so it wouldn't spin. Well, the whole thing would spin, but it wouldn't spin out. So, could be a saw of some sort. Yeah, it looks like the teeth are bent each way, so it's probably some type of little weird saw. Tiny, look how small it is. I'm down the slope from the house a little bit, hoping that maybe I see some trash and good stuff down in here. Got some iron signals in here. Went ahead and dug them up, big iron. Got a couple things. This is a blade off of a scythe. Part of the blade, we're on a big sickle. We're probably on a two-handed scythe for cutting corn and wheat and grasses and stuff. Got a big old bowl to a spoon. That's an iron one. Then a really cool little piece of pottery I thought was pretty. That's a pattern I have not really seen before. Like creamware of some sort, I guess, but there's little snakes on it. I don't know if I'd want to be eating out of that. Either that or amoebas. I don't think I knew about amoebas back then, though. Well, I either have a big old silver coin or something less exciting. That's where the chimney pile is. And I was digging around here, so I didn't really think too much of it. I figured it'd be a Washington quarter, and it might be a, I don't know, what is that thing? Ooh, it's pretty light. No. That is an inspection sticker from 1986. Yep. I guess they inspected that pole, and it was still made out of wood, apparently. So I worked my way back around to this little square foundation thing. The very first thing we found in this field, right here, you can see it's a small square. Up near the telephone pole, that's where the house is, and on the other side is a well. So I'm suspecting that what we're looking at here could be the outhouse. So we might dig in this a little bit later. I'm not going to today because I want to do as much surface hunting as we can. So I'm kind of right back up in the middle of the foundation. Now what I'm going to do, I've run a loose pattern around most everything near the house. So now I'm just going to run, just go wherever my heart takes me. That's where I dug the bullets and stuff right there. And guess what? I just dug another mini ball. So what I'm going to do now is just, I'm just going to walk around, follow the iron, and just go wherever my little feet say I should go. Look how thick this button is. I guess it's a button, I don't know, but it's like really, really thick. There's a shank on the back, a little bit of iron staining there. That's definitely kind of a strange one. It's really heavy too. It's probably a gold coin on the inside. Maybe I should pry it open. We'll do that later. I just dug a little thimble. This would go on your finger, probably maybe a pinky, for sewing. A little sewing thimble, a little brass sewing thimble. Nice. Well, I was out exploring some of the field, and I was down on the other side of these cows. And all of a sudden, one of the old cows came running after me, well, running down to me. And I could tell something was up, so I kind of stopped and moved out of the area, and she went over to a place along the stream there, and there's a calf there, and it looks like it's either tangled up in the fence or can't stand up or something. I can't tell, but something's wrong with it, and she was trying to protect it from me. Now she's down there bawling, so I'm going to cut my hunt short and go up to the farmhouse and talk to the farmer and tell him there's something going on with one of his calves down here. So that might be it for this hunt today. All right, you have to shove her through. Come here. Oh, come on now. I was too busy trying to get a video. I'm sorry. There she goes.
And I'll rock you until I go to sleep. She'll shake the coins from your pocket, take your gold chain and your locket. Mother Earth has no sympathy. She'll take the ring from your hand and bury it in the sand and keep it for eternity. Mother Earth, she's got her secrets she's promised to keep, hidden in her dirt or deep in her creek. Mother Earth, she ain't saying exactly what she's saving, where it is or what it might be. Mother Earth, you are my lady, my big round baby. I'll rock you until I go to sleep. She don't care if you're dying or if you're living or somewhere in between. Mother Earth, you are my lady, my big round baby, and I'll rock you until I go to sleep. She'll shake the coins from your pocket, take your gold chain and your locket. Mother Earth has no sympathy. She'll take the ring from your hand and bury it in the sand and keep it for eternity. Mother Earth, she's got her secrets she's promised to keep, hidden in her dirt or deep in her creek. Mother Mother Earth, she ain't saying exactly what she's saving, where it is or what it might be. Mother Earth, you are my lady, my big round baby. I'll rock you until I go to sleep. She don't care if you're dying or if you're living or somewhere in between.